All right, everybody, we are back, and today we are going to be focusing on the infotainment center. I've had a couple of comments about it, and it looks like a lot of you guys are stopping kind of in that section of the last video where I went into it, where it looked a little bit laggy as I started it up. I'm going to go a little bit more into that today, but first, I actually just picked up the car from P&L Automotive. Had the whole thing, interior and exterior, coated. Just gonna kind of take a second and admire that. So basically it's a ceramic coat. And then I also got, it's hard to see, but there is a clear shield that wraps all the way from about right here down onto the front. And it's got the little strip right on the edge of the door sills too. Everything just got detailed. It's a little better in the sunlight, but it's definitely cleaner even than the day that I bought it. Also, I have it plugged in right now. As you can see, when it's on and charging, the light is flashing there. And then this will also give you up here the time when it's going to be charged. So it's got 3 miles of charge on it. It's pretty much dead since I got it home. About 20 miles each way. So it'll take, what's that? Yeah, about 5 hours left. So with this, before I had it, and I'll actually start the vehicle here. We'll turn everything on. I'm actually surprised that it starts and runs with the charger, and I'm kind of curious to see if it will actually, it will not. So you can start the car, it will not actually give you any of the gear function while you are connected to the charger. I've actually been curious about that to see if there was a possibility that you could accidentally drive off with it, which apparently there is not, which is good. Anyway, with this, pretty much once it loads, everything's good. So when you go through, everything's responsive. I guess maybe, here we go. Well, I guess it won't let me do it when it's started, or when it's plugged in. So you got all your options in here, your drive modes, like I was saying before. Those are all there. I guess I don't really have to click on any of these here anyway. But you got your cameras, it gives you front, back, and then there's also a camera at the bottom of each mirror that give you, it's pretty much a straight down shot. Can't really see much out to the side of you. It's basically just there for you to see like the lines in a parking spot. And then with this, you can go over, and it is pretty responsive once everything loads. It's pretty good. When you go over here, so it's got your basic stuff here. So this one tells me my fuel consumption for this total trip, which is about 112 miles now since I filled up. Now when you click on this, in this screen, if you click on any of these bottom ones here, sound experience, you go in, change anything around, and then you hit the main button here to go back to the main page. That will be your new default setting. So anytime you go through this menu, I would just leave it on the driver performance. But there are other options like the car status, which I've played around with it a little, and it's like it gives you your oil level when running. Other than that, I mean, there's really nothing. It doesn't really give you anything else. TPMS, I'm not sure if you have to store pressures to be able to view them, but I haven't actually been able to see what my tire pressure is at. And then the service, it shows the days and miles until like my next oil change, whatever. Also messages. So that would be off of your phone. Travel Link Download Center, you can go through and do system updates, application updates. You can search new apps to put down in here. Maybe I'll have to try and find something to see if there is more in the statuses for that. Top one, basically just your radio functions. It'll show you your phone, radio, and then same with GPS. You click on any of these other ones, I think it changes it. Maybe not. I thought there was a way to change that one, but I don't remember how to do it right now. But that too, map is pretty good. Essentially you go in, it'll pop up your recents right here. You hit the set destination, and then you can either search by street, or if you pop down here, you can actually go up and it'll pop up search bar. And you just type in what you're looking for, it'll pull it up. It's pretty quick. Once you start to get in and you're like mostly through it, it slows down a little bit when it's trying to like fine tune the results. Other than that, you can click up here, it keeps your recents, you can save favorites. Because I haven't really looked into the rest of it too much. But that is the map. And then when you drag down from the top, you got your owner's manual. They don't actually give you a physical owner's manual. It is all through here. So this will pop up, and then you can do quick guide, exterior, interior. It kind of gives you like a brief things that you can search in to find things faster. Otherwise, you can actually physically search like keywords and whatever. This will give you a little more. And then your settings menu. This will go through pretty much everything. Trying to think of what's even in here. If you go into like lighting and stuff, interior lights, they have this ambient light level, which is actually this right here. There's little, mine's blue here, and then there's one in each side in the back. And that is actually that might be the mood light intensity. Yes, it is the mood light. So, but you can actually go down here, and if you do it by color, and you click on these buttons, it will change the color to whatever you want, as long as it's one of the 7 they give you. You can also turn that up and down, high and low intensity. I thought that was up there, must have got reset. That I believe is the lights. When you open it, there's lights on the bottom of the door handles, and I believe there's one underneath the door. Yes, there is. There's one right there as well. So that turns that up. Go back, exterior lights essentially gives you like timeouts, what all you want on when you lock the car or unlock the car. It turns all your lights on, or when you shut it off to keep it lit up while you're getting inside. If it's dark out, kind of helps you see a little bit. You can do, let's see, parking brake, auto activate parking brake when you shut off. I have that on. Basically, as soon as you turn the knob to shut the engine off, it locks the parking brake up. There was one other thing in here, the individual driving mode. I think I had talked about that a little bit. So when you go into that driving setting, you actually have an individual drive mode option where you can go through and set. So when you go into that, right now it's just all the presets. You have your hybrid, the steering force. I haven't actually played around with this a whole lot yet to see what it does. Basically, that individual driving mode, if you want, where you put that into power mode and you want a certain way that the steering wheel feels, also a certain way that the brakes work. You can have the normal and dynamic. I still haven't really played around with that. They have the eco climate, which I guess lowers energy consumption while it's on. You can also do powertrain characteristics. So even if you're in these, I think you can change it. So it says it affects torque and acceleration. I'm not exactly sure what that does. Again, I haven't played around with it too much. I just know that you can set these to basically whatever you want. So when you pop over here, go into the drive modes, hit the individual, it basically has all your settings saved. Other than that, I mean, everything else is pretty much just go through and you got all your things, your driver profiles here. Oh yes, the care key. I forgot to mention that on the last one. That will be this key fob. They give you an orange key fob that is basically a valet key. That I haven't played around with because even if I hit this, it doesn't let me do anything. I've been meaning to ask the dealership about that because I haven't been able to find anything on it. When I do find something on that and figure out how you are able to set that up, I will let you guys know. There's not a whole lot out there, being that this is a 2022, but I will figure it out here eventually. I'm still waiting on my Polestar 2, and they should hopefully get back to me tomorrow on that. And then if I have to go down there and get that tune downloaded, I will have them kind of give me a run through of everything while I'm there. Everything else here, wipers, you can adjust settings for wipers. Basically the rain sensor doesn't really give you much. There is, I thought it was under there, but I guess it's not. There is a way for, like, if you have to put new wipers on, there's a way to set them where the wipers will actually go right up in the middle. It's like the service mode for wipers. I can't remember exactly how to get there, but it's in here somewhere. I thought it was under here, but either way, that's a pretty brief run through of everything. Climate, you can just have like all your auto stuff. When you go in through your phones, you have the My Cars app, which I will pull up here in a second. Hopefully you guys are able to see my phone screen through here. We're trying everything in 4K today, so this will be the app, so that'll pull up. You can click on this, it gives you kind of all your stuff, and then when you go on like climate, there is a way to click on it. You can set a timer. That, I do believe, I have no timer set. I haven't actually had to use it yet. It'll be a little more, be able to use it a little more in the winter time to warm up the car, not so much as cool down. The air conditioning being electric in this car cools down and works really well. So basically when you set the timer on your phone, this is all your stuff that will come on. You can set everything. I have my passengers off just because I normally don't have a passenger in here. Auto rear defrost. The additional heater, I'm not exactly sure what that is, but auto driver's seat. Auto steering wheel when it's cold out. I don't know if there's a certain temperature, if it's just any time you turn it on. I think there's a way to set up so it does air conditioning too. I don't remember though. I'm assuming that just goes by temperature. If it's too hot, it'll turn it on. Navigation, I think you can edit your map, show your favorites, just show speed cameras, points of interest. Auto, that I have on auto. I usually keep it on night. I think these got reset a while ago when I was messing around with it, but just figured I'd give you guys a brief run through to see how everything looked. It does come with internet. I'm not sure. I haven't had to use any of that yet because I don't know what it has, and I don't really ever need it. And I got good signal on my phone, so yeah, that is just kind of a rundown of that. Works pretty well to get into anything. Got all this stuff. This gives you all your your touch sounds, which I hate, so I'm going to turn those down a little bit. SMS for your phone, all of that stuff, which I think only comes through when you're on, I have a Motorola, so it's the Android Auto. So I believe the Apple CarPlay is the same thing. You can turn that down, voice control, navigation, voice guidance. So I'm just going to turn that all the way down because I don't like to listen to her tell me where to go. Everything else, just stuff that you can go through. This you can play around with too, and all of that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't know if there's a whole lot else going on. A lot of stuff, they go over that all. If you were to get, when you go in there, they pretty much cover all of that stuff. It's basically just your safety stuff, your stay connected, your connected safety, whatever that is. That, I believe, it just like connects you to other Volvos on the road and gives you information if the road's slippery and their ABS has to kick in when they hit the brakes. It'll give you a notification on your screen that they're sliding and tell you to slow down before you get to them. It does have the active bending headlights, which is kind of weird, but kind of cool. When you're coming around corners, your headlights will actually turn from side to side as you turn your wheel. Let's see what else we got here. I think that pretty much sums it up. I basically just kind of wanted to go through everything and just show you guys how that all worked. I mean, it's pretty smooth. Pretty smooth operation for everything. So yeah, that is all I got for you right now. If I think of anything else, I'll pop back on here, but otherwise, yeah, just keep leaving comments or questions that you have, and I will try to get more videos up of everything as questions come up or as I just find other things. This too, when you go through the menu on here, which is this button again, it does have to be at the main screen. If you have the charging thing up on there, it doesn't pop up that menu button. You actually have to click the OK. I found that out the other day when I could not get this thing to pop up for me. That just gives me my trip out there. I did have to use a little bit of gas. I went about 42 miles, but 335.5 miles to the gallon isn't bad for a 42-mile trip. But yeah, that wraps it up for today's video. Till next time.